The Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day you're the Mamba mentality simply means trying to be the best version of yourself. That's what the mentality means. It means every day you're trying to become better.
Put work in my strategy, develop a masterpiece. I struggle with no fear, that's in my anatomy. Go hard to stay home, I'm not what a mattress be. Pursuing the actively, can't nothing catch me. Call it that Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality, Mamba mentality, Mamba mentality, Mamba mentality, Mamba mentality, Mamba mentality. Pursuing the actively, can't nothing catch me. Call it that Mamba mentality. Through the storm, out through the pain. Go harder than a moving train. Every now and then take a loss. Double back like a boomerang. In the field, I gotta move the chains. On the court before I shoot an aim. Exceeding these expectations. Day-to-day preparation. Opposite of hesitation. Show up till they close up. I go overtime for that payment. But them dollar signs can't tame me. See my passion drive me like an Aston Martin. I can't ask for no favors. If they don't give it, we take it. My stay solid, can't break it. Moving the lane like Kobe. Do not complain like Kobe. Work hard like Kobe. Earn scars like Kobe. Come to the feast, I fill up my plate. You wait on your food, I cannot relate. No 24/7, go 24/8. No 24/7, go 24/8. Like, put work in my strategy. Develop a masterpiece. I struggle with no fear. That's in my anatomy. Go hard to stay home. I'm not what a mattress be. Pursuing the actively, can't nothing catch me. Call it that Mamba mentality. 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 Pursuing the actively, can't nothing catch me. Call it that Mamba mentality. So low, so low, so low.
Aguilar, Hillary with my dog Solo D. Shout out to Miami Sport Music.
You did. Saturday style.
Gang gang, 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 gang gang. You see me orange and green? That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. Gang gang, 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 gang gang. You see me orange and green? That's gang gang. That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. That's gang gang. That's gang gang. Reps since a juvenile, I be where they throwing up using crowds. You know how that school get down, not taking no L's, we ain't losing now. Don't get it confused right now, I represent making these music sounds. They play me when they study in their dorm room, request me an Uber now. I be screaming Kane gang, across the world they be screaming out the same thing. We first to arrive and last to leave, we feeling a sense of capacity. You know I won't change while you asking me, be throwing this you to the casket deep. Be all on the field like Sebastian B. Rockin' Cant Wait, I'm a fashion freak. Look, I be staying live, I don't pipe down. Ask down life, it's a lifestyle. Ain't like the mother schools, don't confuse us. We the only ones that really throw the you up. But Kane's fam turned up where you find me. Hit hard like I seen it go to Shanti. Try to reach a man D, they remind me. That them Canes right back in they prime. Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see me orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see me orange and green? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. Lyfe
familiar. We reppin' West 12 and the Gang Gang. Them haters gon' hate cause it can't be us. In other words, they can't hang. When it comes to the party and do it what it does for the Kings. We the Kings, man. It's around these parts and they're gonna bow down and have to tell you the same thing. We reppin' that line and you know it don't stop. Our DJ be reflex the creep of the crowd. Keep up in that solo, we're dropping that drop. And better the kick, I'll be closing up shop. You could ask about us at the Rock and I'm sure they gon' feel ya. We tailgate royalty, nobody get down like K-Boys and La Familia. Gang, gang, gang.
Gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gang gang. You see me, orange and green? That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. Gang gang, 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 gang gang. You see me, orange and green? That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. That's gang gang. That's gang gang.
We gotta make moves on these haters, like with DJ Dallas. Gang hard as the rock. Hard rock be the palace. It's a new king order. See Sebastian sprayed across the Atlas. Man, he gave us the turnover chain. Yo, Rick, we need a touchdown chalice. Some saying that the U ain't back, but we got something to prove. Stand back, I know you be seeing the coast and he all in his groove. I might have to break the extinguisher out and spray the field like I'm John Rule. Seminoles getting busted in the tooth. Get us know that the U is the truth. Striving for greatness is all we pursue. Win or lose, always choose go up the U. I can say no other do what we do. Watch them Thomas pop it off like a fuse. Competition is confused. We sit on the side on the muse. Snooze on them kings and you lose. Snooze on them kings and you lose. Snooze on them kings and you lose.
Hey boys, shout out Solo D. Shout out to DWA.
Let's eat.
Yo, Solo! You know they been saying you gotta make a hit squad part 2. But you know, man, we hungry this time, man. We gotta eat this time. Yeah. Back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder, time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat things up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway. I say and not quote. Go harder, go home is the motto. A pick or a sack is the lotto. Let's cook them like Emerald Lagasso. My bad, Legacy. He going south, that is not me. Hungry for greatness, so I eat. Stay in my zone like a Bobby. Jumping off the edge like Ian Shaq. Straight pressure, never even back. Protection on the way you gon' get wins. Split through the middle like Wilkins. Got some backers on the back that's gon' back me up. Straight action, we be acting up. Tell Coach Draw his best plan, but it still gets snatched by X-Man. Cause we back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder, time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like a buffet.
Eating like a buffet, it be a long day, we ain't gon' play. Yeah, them boys green, no subway. Pick the ball off X and BJ. I don't care about what he and she say, that's nonsense. Check the replay. I work overnight and it's early morning, but I'm turned up cause it's game day. They don't really want it with your boy. O-line really get destroyed. Ex-Patriot, Cal Van Noy, put him on his butt, hurt hemorrhoids. What's a grown man to a boy? Jam him at the line, dare you to throw it. Disciplined coach Brian Flores, never getting rattled to the boys. Fans better pay attention, need the social distance. I got a witness and you know we blitzing, but mind your business. Christian Wilkins on the line of scrimmage, far from timid, pushing to the limit, revving engine. You know we gotta get it, Nick Needle. You know we gonna big it, bang it, take it to the business. Fans up till my life is finished. Say it with my chest cause I'm in it. A lie, no why, I admit it. New era, yeah, our division. A win streak, we just keep on winning. So I lose, tell them suck the limit. Bills with the Jets and New England. Miami talk dogs where you hear me.
Back in the beast mode. AFC, we tryna rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder, time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. And these boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the O-line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stay on one route like the busway.
Y'all ready for some breakfast buffet? I know I am. Look, I'm a big guy. You know I can eat. You know I can eat.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D. On the #1 morning show right here on Miami Sports Music. Clock Blockers. I know y'all know the name. Y'all are learning it if I have anything to say about it. What's going on, everybody? How are you? I need y'all to share this. Let's get more viewers watching this show this morning. Let's grow this show. I'm so excited to be here this morning with you guys or ladies, whoever's watching right now. We're definitely excited. The new show, Clock Blockers, right here on Miami Sports Music. It's definitely becoming a good look. We're really excited about having you guys here. We're growing. We're ready. And, make sure, you follow us because we want to make sure this show grows and we want to make sure that we have the #1 morning show. All right. How you feeling with Coach Flo bringing in Jason M? Hey, Alberto. What's up, brother? I'm going to answer that in a little while, man. We're going to get to that this morning. But before we do, I just, want to kind of get through everything first. If you guys are looking for, the greatest lineup or the greatest network right now, Miami Sports Music has the podcast network. And the podcast network has a lot of amazing talent up there. We got Wade-O. What would Shula do? We got TD Finstock, who I was on with last night for a couple of hours. And then Doug from the Dougly Do Wrong on YouTube. Doug was also on there with us. And then one of my best friends and part of the team here talking about them Dolphins with Jamie Bahamas. Make sure you guys go check that out because it's definitely doing a big thing. And then later on tonight at 9 p.m., I need y'all to make sure that y'all go check out this show right here, okay? Because seriously, it's a big deal. We have the Dolphins Roundtable show. We'll have TD Finstock. We'll have Dougly. We'll have Jamie. We'll have Wade. We'll have some fan club leaders, some super fans on. It's going to be a good look and a good time. I'm pretty excited. We're going to be on Facebook Live and the YouTube Live page. So it's going to be a real good look. So at 9 p.m. tonight, when you guys are in your beds, I want you guys to turn on, your tablets or your phones or whatever it is you guys got going on and make sure you guys watch this morning because it's going to be a good look, man. I'm pretty excited. Why we also get ready for this morning's show, I want to make sure that you guys know you can find me at Stephen D SKPL, and you can make sure that you download right on YouTube. Once the show is over, you can download right to your phone. So if you can't watch all of it this morning, you can definitely watch all of it later on today when you're on your coffee break, your lunch break, or your drive home, whatever it may be. Well, look, without further ado, man, let's kind of get right into the show of where we're going to look at today, right? So these are today's topics. We got the Panthers. They closed out the regular season last night. I said NHL cluster because it is a cluster, up there at the NHL headquarters trying to figure out what to do at the end of this season and how to get these playoffs started. We're going to predict the last 4 Heat games. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the teams to root against in the NBA going into the last week of the season that will help the Heat move further in the standings. Currently, they sit at 6. They do not have to play in the play-in tournament, so that'll be fun to watch. We're going to talk about the Marlins and D-backs recap last night. Unfortunately, Marlins fell short, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take your questions. So, Alberto, I'll get to that then. And part of the fans' questions, as well as the interaction, is we're going to talk about the Dolphins' edge rushers in secondary and how they stack up in the NFL right now and how they also stack up against past Dolphins teams. So that'll be fun to talk about. And then if we have time to get to it, which I think we will, look, guys, I'm not talking about Tua time. I'm talking about Tebow time. So we're going to talk a little bit about Tim Tebow because, you got to, right? You got to. This is a morning show, and it's a sports morning show. And if we're not talking about one of the most popular people in sports, what else would we be doing with our lives? So I want to give a shout out to everybody this morning. Roddy Piper, Hit Squad. Chef Juice in the building. Good morning, Stephen D. How y'all doing this morning? Elder Bruce. What's up, Stephen? What's going on, guys? I'm so excited that y'all are joining us. Make sure you guys go down to, if you're watching on YouTube, and you hit that like and subscribe button, and then make sure you get the notifications turned on, because, hey, guys, you guys need to know every time Miami Sports Music goes live, right? Right. I know that. You know that. All right. So, look, without further ado, let's kind of talk about last night. So, last night in the NHL, the Florida Panthers took on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And as you guys can see there, Florida manhandled, and they took care of business. It's definitely going to be a good look. I'm pretty excited about the way the team is looking going into the playoffs and how the team is stacking up. Alexander Winberg, who had a hat trick the game before against Tampa, scored another goal last night. So it looks like he is hot going into the playoffs, which is a good thing because Florida looks like one of the best teams in the NHL right now, and they've pretty much been manhandling the former Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. Right now, it looks like Tampa Bay is going to end in the 2 seed in the Central, and it's going to look like, Florida's going to end in the 2 seed in the Central, and Tampa's going to end in the 3 seed. So it looks like they're going to face each other in the first round unless something crazy happens. I don't think that is going to change. Mr. 305 for real. Good morning. What's up, buddy? Elder, that hat is fire. I know, guys. Look, I love, I buy Miami Sports Music and DWA stuff all the time, but my wife got me this, and I just think it's ridiculous, right? I like it. I like it a lot. Good morning, big homie. All right. Yeah, so look, there is no date for when the playoffs start, which we're going to kind of get into now because, look, you're looking at the cluster, FU, you know what I'm talking about, that is the NHL and the NHL playoffs right now. A specific start date for the NHL playoffs is still being determined due to COVID-19 delays. They're looking to start likely sometime around May 19th. And the biggest reason for this is the league needed a Canada-only division due to the quarantine issues up north this year, right? So the top 4 teams in each division will earn a playoff berth in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and it will consist of inter-division play. One series will feature 1 and 4, and the other will feature 2 and 3. Hence, that's why you'll have Tampa facing Florida, but Florida will have the home series advantage there, which will be great. The winners of these series will face off with that winner, then advancing to the Stanley Cup semifinals. And the semifinals featured resorting of the seeds based on regular season record. So look, there's just a lot going on with that, and it's kind of, interesting on how you're going to take it. If you go look at the standings right now and how everything is, in the Central Division, like I said, Florida and Tampa is 2 and 3, and 1st and 4 in that respected Central Division is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes at 1 and the Nashville Predators at 4. And Chicago Blackhawks missing out, and the Dallas Stars missing out in that division there. So, look, they're looking hot. Winberg's looking hot going into the playoffs. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know about you guys, but it'll definitely be a good time. Look, before we get going into the next thing, I want to talk to you guys about 305sports.net. 305sports.net is the exclusive provider for all the sports news right here on Miami Sports Music. That's right. They have original articles and content written by fans and reporters, and they also have some familiar faces from our family too, like our very own media director. He has a podcast on 305sports.net called Talking About Them Dolphins, hosted by Jamie Bahamas, that is also on our podcast network. So make sure you go download his podcast wherever you listen to your podcast from, and make sure if you want original, amazing sports news content from South Florida's high school all the way to the pros, go visit 305sports.net. All right, guys, look, I'm pretty excited. If you guys have a question at all this morning, I want you guys to go put that in the box, right? And if you're on social media at all, use the hashtag #ClockBlockers. That's right, #ClockBlockers. Use that hashtag. Join the discussion this morning. It'll be fun. I want to interact with you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think the Florida Panthers are going to do in that first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs? And how do you guys feel about the cluster that is the NHL right now on trying to get the playoffs started and having these teams lock up and not having a start date for the playoffs, which is very, very interesting. No official start date yet. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. All right. Next up, man, got to talk some Miami Heat basketball, right? Look, the last 4 games, we're going to talk about that as well as the teams to root against. So, look, the Miami Heat have a game tonight against the Boston Celtics. Tip-off is at 7:30 at TD Garden right there in Massachusetts. Last game, Jimmy Butler had 26 points against them, which was a couple of nights ago, as well as my boy Bam had 20 points, right? Jason Tatum scored 29, Kemba Walker 18. That was on Sunday. For those of you who don't know, Miami had a commanding lead going into that fourth quarter, and in the fourth quarter, Boston scored 40 points, and they almost came back and won. But Miami Heat won by, I think it was 4 or 6 points. So, look, right now the Miami Heat are sitting in that 6th seed. Boston's sitting in that 7th. So it'll be very interesting to see where the NBA goes moving forward, because the play-in tournament, which looks like is here to stay permanently, by the way. And so there's a lot of debate on that. So if you are sitting in the seed of 6 or better, you do not have to play in the play-in tournament. If you're in the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th seeds, you will have to do a play-in tournament, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But let's kind of talk about the last 4 games for the Miami Heat, because they're going to be very important, right? So tonight, obviously, they face the Boston Celtics. Thursday night, they're going to be back at home for the last regular season home game against the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and that is the Philadelphia 76ers. And then Saturday the 15th, they're going to be in Wisconsin facing the Milwaukee Bucks, who's the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. And then that Sunday game, the very next day, they're going to be in Michigan, Detroit, at Little Caesars Arena, facing the worst team in the Eastern Conference. So they got a lot of ups and downs on that roller coaster of the schedule for the last 3. So let's kind of go through them and kind of see where we're at. Now, what I tried to do when I was putting this together last night was try to be as indifferent as possible, right? Truly think, what is Miami going to do in these last 4 games, and how is it going to affect them going forward? So this is what I came up with. I think the Miami Heat win tonight against the Boston Celtics. I just don't think that the Celtics have what it takes when it's all said and done to match up against the Miami Heat. I don't think that we're going to be able to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They are the best team in the Eastern Conference for a reason. And look, as much as Jimmy Butler wants to beat his former team, and I want that for him, I just don't know if that happens, right? And then the Milwaukee Bucks. Look, they're the number 3 seed, so it'll be very interesting. Alberto said, Miami won by 10 thanks to Mr. Butler, but we need to be more careful on these leads. Come playoff time, we got to execute. No doubt, 100%. My man Eric Carrier's in the building. Eric is a big Miami Dolphins fan, for those of you who don't know, and is I want to say the vice president or the co-founder of Southern New England Dolphin Fan Club. But he's also a big Celtics fan because he's up there. So I need y'all to get on this man and tell him, if you're going to root for one Miami team, you might as well root for them all, man. No, I love Eric. Eric's one of my best friends, and, well, he won't admit that, but that's okay. But I am pretty excited about where they're going to go. And then, look, that last game is against the Detroit Pistons, right? And so the Detroit Pistons, when it's all said and done, are the worst team in the East. So that should be, and I say should, and I don't want us all shooting on ourselves, that should be an easy W. So I think that the Miami Heat end up 2-2 in the last 4, And that'll make for an interesting dynamic with these last few games going into the end of the season. How is that, you ask? Well, let's look. The Miami Heat are currently sitting at 37-31. They're currently the 6th seed in the East, right? So the teams that we need to root for going into the last week of the NBA season, we obviously, when we play Philadelphia and Milwaukee, we need to root against them because we're playing them, right? And so though even getting one win from one of those teams would go a long way into helping us getting a better playoff spot or not getting a worse one than we're currently in, right? Because I don't think Miami wants to play that play-in tournament. I don't think it would be a good thing for them. I think that they could use a couple days break and then get ready for whatever series they're going to do in that first round. Currently, the New York Knicks are sitting at number 4 at 38-30, which is one game above the Miami Heat. So the Miami Heat could go from 6 to 4 within a few games very easily. So you want to root against the Knicks going into this last week. You also want to root against the Atlanta Hawks, who have a half game better record than we do, and they're sitting at the 5. And then obviously you want to root against the Celtics and you want to root against the Hornets. And I don't think that we're going to get the 8th seed at all, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But again, I don't want to get that 7th seed. If you look at that 7th seed, playing in that play-in tournament is where it's going to be a little dicey. Mike said the Heat can win all 4. I would love to see it, man. I would love to see it. But it's going to take a lot to beat the number 1 and the number 3 seed going into that last week. It depends, is Philadelphia going to play their starters? Is Milwaukee going to play their starters? It'll be interesting to kind of see where they end up at, right? So, and here's the other good thing too. As a big NBA fan myself, and I said this yesterday on the show, it's always fun to see the Knicks in the playoffs. For no other reason than I just think it makes it exciting for the league. So the league is better with the Knicks in the playoffs for the simple fact that you either love to hit the Knicks, or if you're like most Miami fans, like myself, you hate the Knicks. So it'll be very, very interesting. Gus says people forget what we did last year. I totally agree. They do. They do. But I also think that the entire Eastern Conference has gotten better than what it was last year, Gus. You got to remember, last year they were playing in a bubble. They were playing in a very different dynamic. And, they went on a run. They went on a run, right? Jimmy Butler automatically made that team better for that run. And so I just don't think that the dynamics are the same this year. And it's hard to compare apples and oranges in that scenario. So don't get me wrong. They were in the Eastern they went all the way, but it'll be very interesting to kind of see where that happens. I want to smash New York, both teams, Brooklyn and New York. I agree, man. Plus versus injuries in Brooklyn. Exactly. You got to remember, going into this part of the season, not only are you playing against, Father Time, but you're playing against injuries too, right? And so, this has been a long season. This is the first season that they're back after the pandemic last year, playing inside a bubble. And so this has been just a little bit, let me get back to somewhat looking regular, the travel and everything, although the travel hasn't been anywhere near what it was in the past years. Alberto says Miami's just got to take it one game at a time and do what we do. If we get good games out of Jimmy, Bam, Harrow, and the Dragon, we will be all right. It's going to be, I've always said it's not what Jimmy Butler does, it's what the rest of the team does. Jimmy and Bam and Hero, I think, are going to always get their points, right? And so the question is, what is that bench going to do? And that's where the Heat are going to get in trouble. Is their bench enough depth to compete with these other teams in their depth? And that's going to be, what's going to be able to take them. Arnaldo said none too. All day, my guy. All day. They have a good team. They have a nice bench, but I don't know if it's stacked enough. People are hurt, I think. We are closer than everyone else. I miss Crowder and Oladipo. Look, I was excited when at the trade deadline when the Miami Heat got Victor Oladipo. It was very interesting to kind of see, You know that. Mike said you forgot about Duncan Robinson. Hey, look, every time you guys talk on the chat here, you guys are bringing up one other player that makes this roster a little bit stacked, right? So look, I'm not saying the Miami Heat can't go on a run. I'm just saying the Eastern Division is better than they were last year, and you have to play that into factor, right? You have to. You gotta respect it where the respect is due. All right, look, let's kind of get to where we're going next. What I want to do right now, though, is kind of promote, if you're a Dolphins fan or a DWA fan, I want you to listen up right now. Tonight at 9 p.m., we're going to be going live for a Dolphins Roundtable show exclusively on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It will be a very, very good time. We're going to have all the guys from the podcast network, Dougley, TD, fan club presidents, super fans. We're going to dive into the draft. We're going to recap that. We're going to talk about Xavier Howard's future, the roster in its current shape, Aaron Rodgers, and more. All right here on Miami Sports Music. If you want to ask a question, go on Twitter and use the hashtag MSM Roundtable. Again, that's M as in Miami, S as in sports, M as in music, MSM Roundtable. And we will answer your question live on the show tonight. We know it's a work and school night, so if you can't watch us live, don't worry about it. Download it the next day on YouTube and watch it or listen to us on your way to work. Or if you're taking a Ferris Bueller day off tomorrow, you can watch us then too. Again, we hope you join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the Miami Sports Music Dolphins Roundtable Show right here on Miami Sports Music, a network made for the fans by the fans. DWA and Fins Up. Yes, that's going to fire. Yes, that show is definitely going to be fire all day. I like it. Gus, I appreciate the love, guys. Definitely do. All right, look, let's kind of see where we're going to go next, right? So we talked about the Heat, talked about, the NHL and the cluster that is right now. Let's kind of briefly talk about last night in the Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins played last night in Arizona. They had a 9:40 Eastern Standard Time start because they're playing in that Western time zone. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see where they go with that, right? So right now, if you look at last night's game, the Miami Marlins lost 5-2 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jesus Aguilar, that man looks like he's getting hot, right? He had another home run last night in the 8th inning, and it was a little too short, little too late. But he was 1 for 4 last night, had a home run. He's batting .266. His on-base percentage is .357, and his slugging percentage is .505. So look, he looks good, right? And then Jordan Halloway. I love this kid, right? He's a young pitcher. He's got a 1.98 ERA, and he's sitting at 1-1 on the year. But last night he stunk up the joint. 3 2/3 inning with 1 strikeout, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and 3 walks. And at the end of the day, if you're going to compete, your starters have to start pitching quality games. And look, it's also a learning process for this kid too, right? So, Jordan's still learning. His ERA is low. I'm not saying that, this is the beginning of the season, guys. We have to remember that. But right now, I said in the show the other night, the other morning, that you really want to see how good Miami is. Let's see how they stack up against a team that's in the same place that they're in their division. So I think the talent level is very equal here between these two teams. And I think you'll get a really good understanding of how the Miami Marlins are going to shape out going into this, next 3 or 4 weeks into the season. And you got to remember, baseball is different from any other sport. You can't, give it a grade on a night-to-night basis. That's not how baseball works. You got to give it a grade on a month-to-month basis, in my opinion. And because teams can get hot and teams can get cold. So it'll be very interesting how they finish up this 4-game series. Tonight's game 2. And that, again, will be at 9:40 Eastern Standard Time against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So make sure you guys go check that out. That'll be a good time. We got issues, Gus said, but still go fish. A couple pieces look good. I think we're going to do better in the second half of the season. Gus, this team is still rebuilding, right? This team is still, rebuilding, and they're getting there. JD says, everybody hit the like, support the homie. I like you, JD, my guy. Yes, everybody hit that like button right now. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you share this with your friends, right? We're on for 1 hour a morning. You guys can go do that. You guys can let people know what the number one morning show is in Miami or for Miami. It's Miami Sports Music. Clap blockers, baby. I'm excited. JD, hit me up, Steve. What's good, my guy? Hey, man, I'm pretty excited, man. I'm so excited to be here, hanging out with you guys this morning. It's definitely good looks, good times. We're going to see how everything goes moving forward. All right, look, we're halfway through the show, and I'm already halfway through most of my content. But the reason I say that is because I want you guys to think about the DWA fans again. If you're looking for the greatest and latest DWA gear, like those DWA shorts, who's got a pair of those DWA shorts? Put it in the comments section. If you guys don't have some, you guys need to go to Miami Sports Music right now. Go get some of those DWA shorts. The number one selling DWA shorts exclusively right here on Miami Sports Music. We have a lot of amazing stuff for you, the fan, to rock year round. You guys are out there buying Tua Tagovailoa jerseys for $150, and God forbid he gets traded. I don't think he will, guys. I don't want to stir up the pot. But, these players, you'll spend $150, $200 on their jersey, and they'll get traded the next year. Or they'll get released. That doesn't happen with DWA. DWA doesn't get released. DWA doesn't get traded. We're here for life. So make sure if you guys want to rock the greatest football team, their colors, and the greatest fans, Dolphins with attitude is where it's at, guys. Also, if you're a Hurricanes fan, we got CWA. And remember, we got the number one song in college football, the Turnover Chain song by Miami Sports Music's own Solo D. We have hats, shirts, shorts, jerseys, cups, bumper stickers, and so much more. So go to Miami Sports Music today and click on the clothing tab. And remember to like and follow us on social media, as my good friend said in the box today, to make sure that you hit the like, support the homie. Thank you, JD. I appreciate that, man. Go to YouTube and click the subscribe button. Make sure you get the notifications on us so you don't miss flash sales and exclusive discount codes for our subscribers only. Again, go to MiamiSportsMusic.com today. All right, let's go into the thing here. What's good, Elder? I like how everybody's kind of talking to each other in the chat here, right? Corey Liberty, City Boy Baker, DWA, baby. We need some bandanas and something to rep the channel. Yes, definitely. Tommy says, what's up, Steven? DWA, CWA. I seen you on the TD Fins Up channel. Look, Tommy, I'm on Douglas channel sometimes. I'm on TD's, and you can always catch me here on Miami Sports Music. I'm everywhere, man. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I'll sneak up on you. I'm a surprise attack. All right. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at Stephen D SKPL. SKPL stands for spread kindness, positivity, and love, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about kindness. I'm all about positivity, and I love you all because I love everyone, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm here. I'm about that life. All right. Without further ado, let's kind of talk about, fans. Let's kind of get into the next thing, which is fans' questions. If you guys have a question, put it in the inbox right now. I'll be definitely happy to answer your questions live right here. In the meantime, I'm going to get some controversy stirred up, right? We had an amazing draft, in my opinion, right? Use the hashtag clock blockers, by the way, when you're asking a question. Use the hashtag clock blockers, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions this morning right here on the number one morning show, Clock Blockers. All right. Let's talk about Miami Dolphins. Let's do the DWA fan chat right now. So I want you guys to get in that fan chat box. I want to hear from you guys. Let's start with the edge rushers. Is this the best edge rushers we've had since the Jason Taylor days? Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Agba. Look, we play in a division right now where we play in an NFL right now where getting after the quarterback's very important, right? And if you're looking at how do we move forward as a team, you have to put pressure on the quarterback. You want to know why Tampa won the Super Bowl? In my opinion, it wasn't because of Tom Brady. It was because they got after Patrick Mahomes. So the more pressure you put on a quarterback, the easier, in my opinion, it is for you to win, and the less pressure comes off your quarterback. So having somebody like Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Agba on different sides of the line, oh my God. I mean, that's got to be a nightmare for quarterbacks. Josh Allen is going to have nightmares this year, right? Zach Wilson's a rookie. First of all, he plays for the worst team in the world, the Jets. Jets, suck all day. But, I mean, look, it's going to be a nightmare for them. And then, we all know what Cam Newton can and cannot do. So we're probably going to see Mac Jones this year start in New England. The question is, at what point will that happen? So I think Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Agba are definitely the best 1-2 combination we've had on the defensive ends since the Jason Taylor days. And in my opinion, they could even be better. I'm not saying they're going to be better than Jason Taylor, but that 1-2 combination can be better since the Jason Taylor days. And Jalen Phillips has the potential to be just as good, if not better, than Taylor. And I know that's a big statement, but I don't see why that can't or won't happen. Chef Shu says, we have to play on defense every game, pressure the quarterback. Gus says, pressure breaks quarterbacks. Facts, this is going to be scary for them, boys. They're all going to see ghost. Definitely. Look, I think that is where you win is in that front line, right? And if you can get after the quarterback, and instead of having all day to throw it, he's got, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds to throw it. Look, it's going to be a cupcake for the secondary, and so I'm pretty excited about to kind of see where that's going to go. So let's talk about their secondary a little bit, right? So right now, let's look at the depth chart. At left cornerback, starting is Xavier Howard. And as far as I'm concerned, right now, he's going to be on the team. I don't think he's going to get traded. I know there's some rumors about it, but I don't see him going anywhere, right? And then we have a first-round draft pick from last year who's right behind him, Noah, right? So, look, that kid's only going to get better. And then at strong safety, you have Eric Rowe and Brandon Jones. Eric Rowe starting. And then at free safety, Javon Holland. And I know a lot of people wanted to see somebody else with that pick, but Javon Holland's going to be a beast. And I think that pick right there automatically made us the number one team, number one secondary team in the NFL. And then at right cornerback, you have Byron Jones, right? So you have Byron Jones, and guess who backs up Byron Jones? Jason McCourty. Jason McCourty is one of the best corners in the NFL over the last 10 years. And I'm not saying he was a fraction of what he was, years ago. But, he's going to be a great presence in that locker room. He's going to help guys like Javon Holland. He's going to help guys like Noah. He's going to help these young guys. Guys, we had Nick Needham starting for us. And Nick is last on the depth chart now. So our secondary has gotten so much better. Are they better than the Patrick Surtain, Brock Marion, Sam Madison days? I don't know. Those were my favorite Dolphins teams, at least for me being alive, was watching those Patrick Surtain, Brock Marion, and Sam Madison days. When Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison lined up, I mean, look, and we had Terrell Buckley at one point and Brock Marion. I mean, that secondary was scary for years that the Dolphins had. And so you look at it now, and you got Howard, Rowe, Javon Holland, Byron Jones, McCourty, Noah. I mean, this team's nasty. It's nasty. And wide receivers are going to have a field day trying to break free from some of these guys. Javon Holland, with the exception of his injury, would have been a top 10 pick in the league. No doubt in my mind. If he wasn't hurt, he would have been a top 10 pick. And the same thing goes for Jalen Phillips. If he wasn't hurt, he would have been a top 10 pick. And so to get both of those guys at the end of the first and early in the second round, I mean, you got to give it up to Greer, because Greer is definitely the guy who made that happen. So I love Greer. I love what he's doing. I love this secondary and these edge rushers. I want to hear from you. Hit in the comment box. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the secondary? What do you guys think of the edge rushers? Do you think that our secondary is better than the days of Surtain, Brock Marion, and Sam Madison? Do you think Phillips and Agba are better than the Jason Taylor days? I'm not saying better than Jason Taylor. I'm just saying better 1-2 punch. Gus says, our defense this year, we have to be first in all picks, forced fumbles, all of it. Nobody's going to play against us. DWA all day. Look, it's easy to be a homer, right? It's easy to be, Gus, and I'm with you on it. But I believe it. I tried to look at this. OG Micro says probably not on our edge. I don't know what you mean by that. My question is, are they better than the Jason Taylor days? And I think Phillips and Agba are better than the Jason Taylor days. They have the potential to be. I'm not saying they will be. They have the potential to be. Phillips has the potential to be just as good as Taylor. But to go back to Gus, yeah, man, look, I try to be indifferent when I try to do things, right? And so when I'm looking at this team and I'm trying to be indifferent and I'm not trying to be a homer, I don't see where the weakness is on that. I don't. And I know you'll say linebackers because that's what everybody says, but I like our linebackers too. I do not see a glaring need on defense except maybe defensive tackle, nose guard, right? And that's where your biggest question marks, and it's not even a huge question mark, is going to be on defense. That's basically it. So it'll be very interesting, to kind of see, where they go from that. I want to see them do good, but, look, only time will tell. Our strength of schedule, which is not that hard, I think is going to play a big factor into it. We're playing a lot of quarterbacks. Arnaldo said, on paper, we have talent. Let's see if they can measure up to what Taylor, Thomas, Madison, Wake, Surtain, and Marion set the bar. Hashtag fins up. Those were the days, man. I wish we had a one with those teams. I really do. Because those players do not get the credit that they deserve at all. Zach Thomas deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Seriously. I mean, the fact that he is not, you don't want to get me started with that. Zach Thomas has better numbers than Ray Lewis, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. That's unreal to me. Right? To be able to seriously, the numbers are there. So if injury bug don't hit, we're going to scare a lot this year. We're going to be the boogeymen. Jose Roden, let's talk about the negative fan base. Shaking my head. Jose, look, it's funny you actually bring that up. I will talk about that briefly, right? I think that you see such a negative fan base is because look at what we've been for the last 20 years, Jose. Right? Like we've gone through ups and downs. We've gone through 20 freaking quarterbacks. Remember Pat White, John Beck, Tyler Thigpen, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Moore, Cleo Lemon. It's been a carousel of quarterbacks. It's been a carousel of head coaches. We haven't had a front office up till now that's proven to be worth a damn at all. So look, I understand why the fan base is negative. I do, and I get it. They're pissed. They want to win. They're sick of mediocrity. And they don't, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And guess what the Dolphins have been doing before this regime? The same damn thing that they've been doing for 20 years, losing. 7-9, 8-8, 6-10, 3-13, 1-15. I know why this fan base is pissed off. I know why the fan base is negative sometimes. Because they just want it. Arnaldo said, not pissed, more like traumatized. 100%, man. When that gentleman who played quarterback for us before our wonderful Tua Tagovailoa was here, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, Ryan Tannehill was here, you really saw that negativity come out the fan base, right? Because the fan base was split. Is Tannehill the answer? Is Tannehill not the answer? And so I just think that it was that we were so used to seeing good You got to remember, we had the greatest quarterback in NFL history to never win a Super Bowl. That's what we're going to be known for that. And they haven't won even after him. Jay Fielder, in my opinion, was the best quarterback. I think it was Fielder, Tannehill, and Tua still hasn't proven himself, but I think Tua is going to be the best one out of all of them. But, I mean, that's exactly where they've been at. Traumatized is a great word. 100%. 100%. So you talk about the negative fan base. You have to talk about the traumatized fan base. They just want to win. They just want to win. That's all they want to do. I want to hear your questions. Make sure you join the questions. Use the hashtag ClockBlockers right here on Miami Sports Music's #1 morning show. I'm your host, Stephen D. I'm really excited to be here with you this morning. We got about 10 or 15 minutes left in the show. So I really, I kind of went through a lot. There wasn't a lot of news in Miami this morning. There really wasn't. So I would love to hear from you guys, answer your questions. If you guys want to ask me a question, use the hashtag ClockBlockers. Make sure you like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Gus says, facts. Bandwagons jump off. We only deal with the real ones. DWA culture. Been here since 83. I remember Marino. Miss them days, but if you're loyal, good, bad, or ugly, the good times come back around. Gus, 100% agree. And here's the reality, Gus. Here's a reality for you. Miami Dolphins have, I think, the 5th or 6th best winning percentage all time, still in the NFL. Now, a lot of that has to do with Don Shula in the 70s and 80s, but still. We had our moment in the sunshine, and the hope is that we're going to have that again. And the funny thing for me is I remember about halfway through Tom Brady's tenure with New England thinking that we just got to ride this out until this man leaves the Patriots. And then, that guy went to the other side of the state and wins a Super Bowl with that team. So here, meanwhile, I'm thinking it's Belichick. And Brady, unfortunately, is as good as advertised, right? So, and it looks like we're going to open up the season against him. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see where they go with that. So I want to take your questions. Use the hashtag ClockBlockers. I want to get your thoughts on what you think of the secondary of this team. What do you think of the edge rushers? Are the edge rushers better than the Jason Taylor days? Is the secondary better than the Surtain, Madison, Brock Marion, Terrell Buckley days? Where do you guys see this defense stacked up against the rest of the league? What are they going to do in the AFC East? Are they going to give those quarterbacks nightmares? And if you guys want to talk about fans too, we can talk about fans being traumatized too. I'm here for you guys. This is a network and a show made for the fans by a fan. So I'm pretty excited that I'm here with you guys. All right, look. While I'm waiting for these questions and comments to come in, Ronaldo says, season opener versus Tampa, that'll be dope. Hashtag ClockBlockers. All day, man. Look, if they open up the series, the season on Thursday night, in Tampa, I might be in Tampa come that Thursday night because it's going to be a party, man. It's going to be a party. And we're going to see how good the Dolphins really are. We are. It's going to be good times. Keith Mahaney. What's up, Keith? Keith, you're the man. Fins up all day. Yeah, look, I think it'll be good times in Tampa. It'll be real good times. And yesterday, if you watched the show yesterday, and if not, you can go replay it. My question was, how many primetime games would the Dolphins get? And so what I said was, I think they'll get 4. And so I think it'll definitely be 3 or 4 if we get that opening game. Q says, usually it's a playoff rematch of some sort. No way we open in Tampa. Keith, I hear you. But when there's smoke, there's fire. And right now, everybody's saying that the opening game is Tampa in Miami. This isn't something that we just heard this has been something we've heard for a month and a half now. And I'm sure that the NFL already informed the Dolphins and Tampa, or Tampa and whoever that first team they're playing against, that they're opening up the season. I'm sure that they have. Tampa versus New Orleans makes the most sense. Yeah, but I think the NFL wants to not have week 1 matchups of interdivision. They want week 18 matchups. And I said 18 because now there's 18 weeks. So that'll be interesting. Remember years ago when we were playing Dallas Thanksgiving too, people went out and bought tickets and all day, dude. And we were the throwbacks that year. And Jason Taylor scored a touchdown. That was one of the best Thanksgivings I ever had. I was eating turkey and stuffing and pudding and cornbread and pumpkin pie, all while watching the Dolphins manhandle Tony Romo. It was great. It was a great day to be alive that Thanksgiving. And they had some beautiful throwbacks that day too. So yeah, it was definitely a good time. I do remember that game very, very, very well. One of my favorite moments of being a Dolphins fan watching the game. All right, look, Keith says we didn't play them on Thanksgiving. This was at least 2 or 3 years ago. Hashtag schedule leak. I don't know who you're talking about then. Are we talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. Help me out, Keith. Put it in the comment box. My brain escapes me. It's still early in the morning. I'm learning how my brain to work this early. All right. I got to talk about it, guys, before we get out of here. I got to talk about him. I know you guys don't want me to, but I got to. I got to talk about it. He's back. He's back. This guy is back. He was a sports announcer. He was a baseball player. He was an NFL quarterback who won a playoff game. And now he's a tight end. But he's reunited with his old college coach, and it feels so good. Urban Meyer. It's going to be very interesting to see Tebow time again, right? I think this is one of the most fascinating stories in the NFL. We're going to see what happens. I want to go back to Keith real quick because he answered me. Keith, 2 years ago, the big leak, it was absolutely Dallas and Miami Thanksgiving. It didn't happen. Personally, I want the Jets first at home. Love to kick the crap out of them. Off rip. Anytime beating the Jets is a good day, my brother. Anytime. Jose says, you think he even starts? I'm sure you're talking about Tebow. Look, here's the reality. There's no way in the world Urban Meyer would bring in Tebow without having some sort of plays designed for him already. Let's be perfectly honest. And Tebow doesn't want to embarrass himself. That's real. Tebow does not want to embarrass himself. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes, because I'm sure that they got plays designed for him. And it'll be very interesting to kind of see. Keith says, fins up. Guys, got to go back to work. Y'all be easy all day. Tommy says, been a fan since 1974. This is my team. Good, I seen bad. We need the offense to score when the defense turns the ball over. Hashtag clock blockers. All day, man. Got to capitalize off turnovers. If you don't capitalize off turnovers, you're never going to win football games. And that's been very frustrating to watch over the last several years, is when we're not able to do that. Back to Tebow. Look, I think this is very, very interesting. Jose, I do think that he starts. And I'll do you one better. If Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, big if, but if he gets hurt, I see him playing quarterback. If he gets hurt. Urban Meyer loves the guy. I mean, Urban Meyer's legend is, some of it is because of that man. And look, for the last several years, he's been swinging a bat, or at least trying to. And it hasn't necessarily been what it is. Jose says, I see the angle. Yeah, dude, and here's the other thing too. It's selling tickets. Right now, Jacksonville, if you're a Jacksonville fan, you got the number 1 draft pick in Trevor Lawrence. You got one of the most hyped coaches in college football. And now you got the most hyped person in the NFL in the last 15, 20 years. It's exciting if you're a Jacksonville fan. With Urban at the helm, it's a money grab for Jax fans, along with Trevor Lawrence at the quarterback number 1 position. Yeah, all day. Look, he's not starting to, and that's the other thing too. You know why this also works perfect? Because there's no way in the world that he starts over Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't. There's no way in the world that he starts over Trevor Lawrence. So it's not like whoever's at quarterback has to worry about, hey, you played a bad game today. Do you think, are you nervous because Tim Tebow's here? Trevor Lawrence doesn't have to worry about that. Now, Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. Hello. Field day. Field day if he gets hurt. That man will start an NFL game again at quarterback. Rob says, why not fullback? Because he's Tim Tebow. Can't hurt that man. At least at tight end, he's got a chance to take some plays off and not get hit. Look, I love Tebow. I do. I always enjoyed, except I'll tell you guys a quick story that I told last night on TD's YouTube channel. Alberto said, wouldn't be surprised if they ran a 2-quarterback system like Miami did with Fitz and Tua. No, I don't think they're going to do that. No. What you saw last year here was an anomaly. And it happened for a few reasons. Number one, Fitz was a team player all day. And he's been in this league long enough to know to not make situations worse. And also, Tua and Fitz liked each other. They were friends. And a 2-quarterback system normally, and it still really didn't for the Dolphins, but it's the closest it's ever been in the NFL. 2-quarterback systems don't work in the NFL. You got to let Trevor Lawrence play, and you got to let him play every snap from day one. Rob says, true, but he's truly big enough to play that position. Oh, I'm not denying that, but there's no way in the world that he's going to play fullback. Number one, there's no real fullback in the NFL right now. Like, that position is gone. Gone are the days of Lusaka Polite, who I loved, by the way, on third down. You give me a 3rd and 1, give me Polite all day. All day. He's getting that first down. All day. Look, Tebow, at the end of the day, everybody says he's there as a publicity stunt. I don't think that that's the case. I'm not saying it's going to hurt selling tickets. I'm not saying that Florida Gators fans aren't going to be lining up to go to Jacksonville and watch their, Jesus in cleats, as he was put, play again. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I think this is the real deal. I think Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow have a plan, and they're gonna execute that plan. And I think Tim Tebow is gonna surprise some of y'all. I do. And I think he will start day one. I don't see it either, but remember, he was coming out. That's why they were all wanting him to play. Yeah. And here's the other thing, too. This is what, 10 years too late? This is 10 years too late from that standpoint. You know, you can say all you want. Tebow should have made this move, several years ago. And Jacksonville should have made this move several years ago. Wayne says, good morning, Stephen. Everybody say good morning to Wayne. Wayne from Fins Nation, UK. Wayne, brother, I saw your post this morning, man. I'm sorry about this whole PayPal situation that you're having, that debacle. But know, brother, that we love you and we support you. And I'm definitely excited when the country starts opening back up again and you guys can come over and we can all drink and have a good time and enjoy some football. You, Robbie, Martin, I'm definitely excited. I miss you guys over there. Everybody give a big shout out to Wayne over at Fins Nation UK. Definitely one of the best. I can't say the best because I don't want to put anybody else down, but he runs one of the best fan clubs outside of the United States and one of the best fan clubs, period. So I love Wayne. Wayne's such a good guy. I did the first ever event with Wayne all the way when the Dolphins were playing the New Orleans Saints in London a few years back. And I am so honored and privileged that I got to be part of that very first event. And I hope one day I can do another event with you guys live there. That'll be fun. How's his hands? That's my biggest question. We're talking about Tebow. Yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know. The man's never played another position besides quarterback. But, I mean, look, I'm sure that if he couldn't do it, he wouldn't be playing. And the man's been catching a baseball, right? That helps with your hand-eye coordination. So I don't think I'm too worried about that. I think more what I'm worried about is he going to be able to take a hit up the middle of the field? What's going to happen when a linebacker comes through? Urban wasn't in Jack 7 years ago. Yeah, well, I know that. He should have been. We're bringing in Graham, the Grimlaw, over with us. Chef Shu, good morning, Wayne of UK. Fins up. Rob says, good morning, Wayne. Arnaldo says, good morning, Wayne. Yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know. Here's my prediction, my final thoughts on Tebow. Tebow's going to start day one. Tebow's going to they are going to have design plays for him in the playbook. And when it's all said and done, they are definitely going to use him in some throwing situations and some trick plays. Now, there's no way it's a two-quarterback system. And there's no way that they're going to do he's going to have any starting over Trevor Lawrence. But if Trevor Lawrence goes down, mark my words, this is here on YouTube, 5/11/21. If Trevor Lawrence goes down with an injury, Tim Tebow will start at quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I 100% think that'll happen. I thought he didn't make the team when he tried out for baseball. He didn't make the Mets. He did play AAA. He did play single A, double A, and triple A. And again, you got to remember, guys, most of these baseball players, they play in the minors for 7-8 years sometimes before they ever get into the majors. So it's not that Tim Tebow wasn't good enough. It's just he didn't have the patience to stay in the minors anymore. And that's fine. I respect that. I do. It takes play. Baseball is one of the hardest sports to play, and that's why it takes such a long time for that to happen. Wayne said, "Is he a lock for the 53?" I think he is. I don't think you have this conversation unless he's a lock for the 53. Rob said, I agree. If Trevor goes down, he will be his backup. Yeah, and here's the thing, Rob. He's not going to be listed as the number 2. They'll still have a listed number 2. But he will be the real backup. Mark my words. It'll happen. All right, guys. Look, we're pretty much here at the end of the show. I really had a great time hanging out with you guys this morning. I want you guys to remember to check us out tonight, right? Tonight, we have the Dolphins Roundtable Show. Myself, TD Finstock, Dougley Do-Wrong, Jamie Bahamas. We're going to have some super fans, some fan club presidents on. We're going to have my guy Cameron from East 32 Tailgates. It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about the Dolphins. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about the current state of the team, the roster, where it is, where it'll become training camp. And it'll be a good time. It'll be a lot of back and forth, some arguing, some debating, but all in good fun. And, make sure you guys come and check that out on Miami Sports Music's YouTube and Facebook channel tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but if at 9 p.m. when you're all snuggled up in your bed, if you guys are not watching this show tonight at 9 p.m., I do not know what you're doing with your life, because there is nothing else on a Tuesday night better than Miami Sports Music's Dolphins Roundtable Show, hosted by myself. So I'm pretty excited. That'll be fun. So I hope to see you guys there. Also want to remember, guys, we have the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, guys. I need you guys to go support all these guys. Wade, What Would Shula Do? TD Fins Talk, Dougley Do Wrong, TD and Dougley, and I don't want to single them out from Wade and Jamie, and I love both of them, but TD and Doug, they're some of the best guys to do it out right now. And Wade is getting there, and Jamie is in a class all of his own. But TD and Doug, I love those two guys. I'm so happy that they're a part of the network. They're going to be hosting with me on this morning show sometimes. It'll be good. Rob says, what time tonight? What time tonight? Let me tell you, man. I will be telling you at 9 p.m. tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Miami Sports Music's Facebook and YouTube. You can catch us there. What I need you guys to do is, there's already a post there. I need you guys to go to that post right now after you get off here. I need you to share it on your Facebook or your YouTube. And I need you to tell everybody about it. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Instagram. Put it on Facebook. Tell people tonight, Dolphins fans, 9 p.m. Come check out the greatest show. We're going to have all the greatest. We're going to have the podcast all-star team up there, man, as somebody said last night. It's going to be a good time. I am excited about it. I don't know about you. And remember, look, we do this every morning. Clock blockers. Stop snoozing with Stephen D. Live weekdays, 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., Monday through Friday. Exclusively on Miami Sports Music's Podcast Network, a network made for the fans, by the fans. I'm really excited I got to hang out with you guys tonight. I love you all. I hope you guys check us out tonight. It will definitely be a fun ride. Rob says I can watch them both. Rob said along with Reason's good too, man. We love Reason too. Rob says, I'll share this with my Facebook group. Chef Shu says, I will definitely be there as always. Chef, you're on there all the time. I love you, brother. You're such a big supporter. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. And everybody who commented this morning and made the show better. Wayne, Rob, Alberto, Arnando, Jose, Keith, Tommy, Gus, OG Micro. I'm sure I'm missing people. JD, Corey. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the truth. Mike, Alberto. I'm missing this guy right here. I love him to death, though. Eric. Roddy Piper, Elder, Mr. 305. I'm pretty excited. So, look, I need y'all to go share this. Let's get more viewers watching the show this morning. They don't have to watch it live. They can still get on the action and comment. It's going to be on YouTube here momentarily and on Facebook here momentarily, so it'll be a good time. Check it out, guys. Really excited. Make sure you check me out tonight at 9 p.m. Make sure you check us out tomorrow morning at Rob says, apologize catching you late in the show, but I'm not a morning guy. Me neither, but I am pretty excited about it. Wayne says, see you guys tomorrow. See, that's what I like about Wayne. Wayne's watching me from over in the UK. So, yeah, make sure you guys check me out tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. I'll see you guys. It's going to be a good time. Fins up. Go to MiamiSportsMusic.com. Get all the latest DWA gear. If you don't have those DWA shorts, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? I love you guys. Be good. We'll see you tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.